Let's crack the code on improving your existing website content, making the content that you have on your website, some interior pages, some blog posts that aren't performing very well or aren't performing at all. Let's find out how we can improve them, and better yet, how to identify which pages aren't performing well at all without having to go buy some tool that's going to cost you money to find that out. So again, my name is Steve with the branding agency, mybrandingagency.com. If you like my content, if you like our videos, like, subscribe. You can hit the bell in order to get notifications when we come up. So existing content versus new content. I get the question all the time, which is better? Should I just focus on creating new content all the time, forget the content that I already have on my website that's not performing? You can't ignore it. So every website is going to perform different. Excuse me. So there's no, carbon clone template where I could say yes or no, but you need to handle it on a case by case. But you can't go all in or all out on one particular stance. You need to do a little bit of both, and then go evaluate what's performing the best for you. If you create 5 new articles and you edit 5 old articles, and right out of the box the 5 new articles do fantastic. I mean, they just do really great results, and the 5 that you cleaned up have no effect. You could start to really allocate your resources, maybe next month tweak it a little bit. So again, it's really all depends on your time and your budget. If you're doing it on your own, obviously it's the time. If you're paying someone to do it for you, it's the budget. So let's just jump right in. I've talked a lot about this tool, Google Search Console, and still to this day, a lot of followers, a lot of clients are scared as hell to use this tool. Just get in. I mean, it's not going to do anything to you. It's not going to bite. It's not going to do anything to hurt your content. So when you get into your Google Search Console, this is what you're going to see on the homepage. Okay, so where it says overview and then the performance analytics report, click on full report. Okay, this full report is going to give you everything, the data. It's going to give you clicks, impressions, click-through rate, literally everything. And since we're trying to find pieces of content that are underperforming, we want to go to scroll down a little bit after you get this chart, scroll down to pages. So what this pages section is going to do is it's going to have every URL or every page on your website that's been indexed by Google search, and it's going to tell you the performance on it. How many impressions over here and how many clicks that it's getting. So what we're really looking for on underperforming pieces of content is pieces of content that are getting high impressions, a lot of impressions, but low clicks. So these right at the top aren't going to be good examples. So let me try and go in here, scroll down and find some that are, have worse performance. And one of the things I could do to do that and make it a little bit easier is I only have 10 rows. I can scroll this down to 25, and that'll be, now you can see there's some high impressions, low click-through rates. I can really use any of these here except this one. I've got one here that's got 10,000 impressions and literally not one damn click. So, that's a good one to focus on for this example. There's nothing worse than it's getting impressions. People are seeing this, but they're not clicking on it. So there's a problem there. There's no question a problem. At least these have one click. So I bring the article up just to kind of get an idea of what piece of content it is. It's one of my local targeting local pages for Charlotte website design. So this page is just really not performing well at all. So what do we want to do next after we've found the piece of content that is not performing? So you're going to focus on, you can click this right here and this will bring it up in a new window, the actual article. But let's stay inside the wireframe here, or the Google Search Console, and we want to actually click on the article here in Google Search Console to bring it up. And this is going to bring up all the analytics as far as all the impressions that it's getting over time. You know, it's had some dips. It was doing real well. It was getting a lot of impressions. Started to deteriorate. Now it's just kind of leveled off, and realistically, it's still coming up impression-wise. And I'll get more into impressions if you're asking me what impressions are. I'll answer that question for you too if you don't know what that means, and we'll find out. So we've got the page pulled up. We can see the analytics on here. The impressions are in purple, and the clicks are in blue, which is 0 clicks. So once we've done that, scroll down to the page itself and click on queries. Okay. So what queries are is somebody that's put this into Google search. This is what a query is. If somebody put digital marketing agency Charlotte, North Carolina in Google search, they are seeing this come up in their Google search results, but they're not clicking on it. So, you know, the main thing that you want to do is, we already know that it's underperforming, this particular piece of content. In order to get, if you want to come up for this digital marketing agency, it's interesting. This particular piece of content is for website design, but we're getting a tremendous amount of views for digital marketing agency, Charlotte, North Carolina. And all of these are really digital marketing type of queries, which is somewhat interesting. So, you know, you look at the ones that have the most impressions, the queries, again, what someone's putting into search: digital marketing agency Charlotte, digital marketing agency, digital marketing agency Charlotte NC, digital marketing agency Charlotte, digital marketing Charlotte, North Carolina. You know, very similar queries. So you want to beef up your performance for these queries. And the next question is, how do I do that? Because that's a difficult thing to really, for someone new that doesn't really have any background on. So this is Charlotte Web Design Services, but there must be some keywords in here for, okay. There may be some keywords in here for digital marketing, because for some reason there's a lot of digital marketing queries that are coming up here. So the next question is, how do I improve my performance for these queries? You're going to need to go in there and look at your content and see, you know, if you have these keywords in your subheadings. Your subheadings would be in these sections, you know, these main highlighted sections. This is your main title, which is called an H1. These are subheadings, H2s, H3s. So go in here and see if you have any pieces of content that have that keyword in it. If you do, that is going to be where you are lacking. If you don't, it's a short piece of content. I mean, that may be one of the reasons why it's underperforming. It doesn't really look to be a lengthy. And this could be, you know, I could have published this for other reasons as supporting content for a landing page. But again, we're talking how to improve it, how to identify it. I'm not going to really overanalyze how to improve it. I'll dip our toe into the water. But for people that haven't hired somebody and they really don't have any understanding how to do this, they don't want to touch it on their own, you need to use some software. Okay, you're going to need to, in a sense, something that's going to help you. If you don't want to hire someone to pay them $2,000 a month to do it for you, so look into some SEO software. I use Surfer SEO. I'll put in the notes section. I'll put a link to Surfer SEO down there. I'll put SEM Rush. Both of them free trials. This isn't so much for the software. This is just going to give you a resource in order to clean up your content. If you're trying to actually clean the content up once you found what's underperforming for you. So, you just will plug this article into the tool, and the tool will go in there. It'll grade it. I plugged this piece into Surfer SEO. It gave me a score of 40 out of 100, which is an F. It's under 50%. So, I'll go in there and hit a few buttons, and the Surfer's going to clean it up for me. The main thing that I really wanted to show you here, and that's kind of secondary, if you actually want to go through and do it on your own, kind of do it yourself for DIY, you can use a tool like that to clean it up. But really what I'm trying to do is give you an idea how to pick out the pieces of content that are underperforming for you. A way to really solidify what content is not doing bad. If you're getting 0 clicks in 3 months on a piece of content, whether you created it or you paid someone to create it for you, that's a problem. The average position, this thing says that it's in position 68. That's not good. And if it's something that you really are trying to target, if it's an important piece of content for you, you really want to try and clean it up before you try and create new content. At least go in there and try and clean it up and see how it's going to perform well. So the good thing about Google Search Console as well, as I mentioned, this tool does a number of different things. Up here at the top, you could scale out here to, you can go back as far as 16 months or custom view as far as performance. But if I went in there and cleaned this up today, I went in, put it into Surfer, got a score of 90, 95, a high score. What I can do is I can come back in a few months and I can hit this compare button and compare last 3 months to the previous 3 months. Now, I haven't cleaned this up yet, so it's not really going to show anything. But what this will do is it'll show you performance previous 3 months right here versus current 3 months. And this is going to give you firsthand experience to see if the changes that you made are working. And again, this is just a way to evaluate if you're creating new content. You always got to go back and evaluate your work. It's not set it and forget it. You can't just create a new piece of content and just not pay attention to it ever again. So this is a perfect way to go in and evaluate the performance. You want to use your time and your resources, financial resources, efficiently as possible. If you're paying someone to go back and clean this up, this is a perfect way to go in here and compare previous 3 months over this 3 months. Did it work? Or is it still just underperforming? It's doing really bad. If it's still performing bad, you got to go in and create a new piece of content. Obviously, Google sees something that it doesn't like. If you create a new piece of content and it's still doing really bad, then you need to hire a professional. You got a real problem. Something's just not working. It may be an underlying issue outside of your content. You may not have good authority or backlinks, or there could be other things involved. So I think this is a really good video. I think there's a lot of informative things in here for you. If you've tried this before, leave a comment. Tell me, the success rate that you've had with this type of strategy. If there's anything you want to add to to my notes as far as something that I'm missing possibly. But if you haven't done this before and you have questions for me, you can put it in the comments section as well. I'll be happy to respond and answer any questions. But this is a good excuse to get you into Google Search Console and start playing around with it and start really finding out how it works. Again, if you're trying to improve your performance of your website in Google search, this is how you're going to do it. This is how you're going to evaluate it. Yeah, there's tools out there like SEM Rush and Ahrefs, but this is going to be your most accurate, and this is free. You don't have to pay for this. So this is going to be your most accurate way to really evaluate the performance of your website. You just need to find out, talk to someone like me, or find some other videos on here of how to use it. Some things to do in here to use it to your put the odds in your favor. Really try to understand how to use the tool better. A good starting point. So again, Steve with the branding agency, mybrandingagency.com. If you've made it this far, always appreciate watching all the way through. Like and subscribe, pound that like button. It definitely always helps me with these videos, and I will talk to you all again soon. Thanks so much.